He's got plenty of support here. Paquetá finding Rafinha. Rafinha back to Paquetá. Could he be in again? Gets his shot away. Good save from Kim Sung-kyu. Paquetá almost in for his second goal. It's the first shot on target for Brazil that hasn't ended up in the back of the net. Well saved by Kim Sung-kyu. Really nicely worked by Brazil. South Korea clear the ball away and have an additional 5 minutes in this first half. Ball now in the arms of the South Korean goalkeeper. Had to react quickly to deny Paquetá. Really well worked move from Brazil again. Paquetá trying to squeeze it in from a tight angle. It's a good save, but one you would expect the goalkeeper to make. As Brazil come forward again with Vinicius Jr. down the left-hand side. Gets the cross in right across the face of goal on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was just lacking a touch. Rafinha was the man in the middle. It was just a little too high for him to get his foot on it. Maybe if he'd gone with his head, he would have put it away. Holds his head in his hand. Hasn't got himself on the score sheet yet, and probably feel he should have done there. Could so easily have been number 5. Marquinhos now has it for Brazil. Back to Thiago Silva. Marquinhos gets it back again. 2 of the 5 additional minutes played so far. Four-goal lead for Brazil. Quite staggering attacking display in this first half, and they're on the move again. Slipped in to Neymar. Neymar, brilliant feet, just couldn't quite get the shot away in the end of it. As Brazil prevent a potential South Korean counter-attack. Really for South Korea, for the last 10 or 15 minutes really, it's been about trying to just get through to half-time. Really tough night for them so far, and they will not be relishing the start of that second half either. Wang Hee-chan trying to get onto a high crossfield pass, which managed to get something on. Brazil again have tidied up any potential danger, and there is a lot of space here for Richarlison to run into. He's got Neymar in support, but Richarlison going alone, saved, and then the ball ends up going behind. May have been a touch off a South Korean defender at the end. No, it's a goal kick that's been taken quickly. That was a fabulous opportunity for a 5th goal for Brazil. Goalkeeper made the save initially from Richarlison. Had he chosen to square the ball, it would almost certainly have been goal number 5. Neymar was waiting in the middle. Wang Hee-chan now. South Korea find themselves on the edge of the Brazilian penalty area. Ball pulled back across the edge of the box. It's a poor touch which has kept the ball alive here for South Korea. In comes across again. Decent ball to the back post. Good header from Danilo. South Korea's best spell of the game here. Kim Moon-hwan. Now Son Heung-min. Looking to find some space on the edge of the box for the shot, but Brazil win it back, and Richarlison then wins the free kick. It's a foul by Hwang In-beom. Could so easily have been 5-0 a few moments ago with that one-busting run from Richarlison, just trying to slide the ball into the bottom corner. His effort saved by the goalkeeper and bounced off Neymar and went out of play for a goal kick. They're almost at the halfway stage now. And, Clement Turpin just having a little look at his watch. As Brazil perhaps look to forge one last opportunity. But there is the half-time whistle. Truly Truly outstanding Brazilian display in the first half here has left them on the brink of the quarterfinals. Vinicius Jr. with the early goal, Neymar from the penalty spot, Richarlison getting his third of the competition, and Lucas Paquetá getting in on the action as well. They could have had a couple more, Brazil. They have been so dominant. It's been a tough night so far for South Korea. Brazil in command. They lead by 4 goals. was an opportunity for Rafinha. He tried to take on the shot, had the sting taken out of it by a leg of a Korean defender there, which allowed Kim Sung-gyu to pick up the ball comfortably. Early let-off in the opening minute of the second half for South Korea. Goals in the first half from Vinicius Jr., Neymar from the penalty spot, Richarlison with his third goal of this tournament, and Lucas Paquetá also getting on the score sheet, and they could have had a couple more in truth. Tremendous display from the Brazilians, who will no doubt try and keep this up in the second period. Although South Korea are in here, and they very nearly had a goal back with Son Heung-min one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It will be a corner, but after almost conceding in the opening minute of the second half, South Korea then nearly score inside 90 seconds. It's a long ball over the top. Son getting the better of Marquinhos. Just tried to curl the ball into the corner. It was the goalkeeper who got a little touch to send it wide. Corner now taken by Son from the right-hand side, headed away. And a straight back behind for another corner. Getting ready to take it again, Son, headed away at the near post. And the ball back into the penalty area, gets away from the South Korean captain, goes out for a goal kick to Brazil, who have Alisson to thank for preserving their clean sheet. Best chance of the game for South Korea by some distance there. Son Heung-min inches away from scoring. Alisson got a big touch, and it looks from the replay actually as though it was the shoulder that it came off. Feels like a huge and impossible task for South Korea, but if they were to put in any kind of challenge in the second half, they were always going to need a bit of a helping hand from their opponents, and an early goal in this second half, and maybe that was the chance gone. Made a couple of changes at half-time, by the way. South Korea's Son Jun-ho is on, and so too is Hong Chul, taking the place of Chung Woo-young. Had a really tough first half, picked up a yellow card after also earlier giving away a penalty. Kim Jin-soo, the left back, has also been replaced. So 2 half-time changes for Paulo Bento. As Brazil remain unchanged for the time being, but no doubt we will see changes from Chiche as they think ahead to their quarter-final with Croatia, which seems inevitable now. Rafinha now has the ball, gets to the byline, plays it back to Paquetá, to Casemiro. So just passing the ball alongside the edge of the penalty area, and Vinicius Jr. then gives the ball away. It's quickly won back by Brazil and then given away again. South Korea will probably just be looking to see this game out without complete humiliation. A shame in losing to Brazil, but they certainly didn't cover themselves in glory in that first half. Some great moments from the Brazilians, in particular that third goal, Richarlison's goal. Just beautiful combination play. 2 centre-halves combining to set up Richarlison. And the ball is played out to the right-hand side, and there is so much space here for Brazil. Rafinha has got options in the middle, tries to play it low. And his cross actually rebounds off the defender, then bounces back off him and goes behind for a goal kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Brazil still 4-0 up. They've had a couple of big openings already, and there was another one just there. Also had the best chance of the game from a South Korean point of view, so plenty going on in the early stages of this second half. Brazil are not here just to sit back and see this through, it seems. Wang Hee-chan now for South Korea, taking it over the halfway line. He was the hero a few days ago. Scored that winning goal to knock Uruguay out of the World Cup. They were heading for the last 16. That's who would have been playing Brazil here this evening had Hwang Hee-chan not scored that late goal. Here he is again now, Hwang Hee-chan on the right-hand side, drifting in field, looking to slip the ball into the penalty area for Son, who's beaten to it by Danilo. Clears long, out of play for a throw-in to South Korea. Played back to Kim Min-jae. Still have possession just inside their own half. Hong Chul now, the substitute, given the chance to get forward. Has possession on the left-hand side. South Korea look for an opening. Worked this pretty well into the penalty area. Son's pass, though, which was intended for Lee Jae-sung. Wasn't really able to get hold of it. It's just good defending from Marquinhos. Brazil restart with a goal kick. Played long up towards the halfway line, taken under control by Paquetá. Goes out of play for a throw to Brazil, just inside the South Korean half. Rafinha will leave it. It's taken instead by Eder Militao. Now Marquinhos finds Thiago Silva. Back to Marquinhos again. Again to Eder Militao. And Danilo. Out to Vinicius Junior on the touchline. He was a real threat in that first half, as were all the Brazilian forward players, really. Crossfield pass is dealt with by the substitute, Hong Chul. It's out of play for a Brazilian throw. It's up by Thiago Silva. Gives it to Neymar, gets it back again on the halfway line. Neymar again to Danilo, and now Vinicius Junior. Danilo's made the run. Vinicius Junior going back to find Neymar, who skips past Hwang In-beong. Floated pass by Casemiro out to the right-hand side for Rafinha. Looking for support, whips the cross in instead. Dealt with by South Korea. To come out to Casemiro, who tidies up again. To Marquinhos, he'll go out to the right-hand side once more to find Rafinha. Rafinha taking on Chol, the substitute, looking for the return pass and gets it, and still going, and gets the shot away. It's a really good save by Kim Sung-kyu, kept alive by Brazil, and the shot from Vinicius Junior ends up going wide. But that was so very nearly five. Brilliantly worked by Brazil again. And it was Paquetá and Rafinha combining the 1-2. Rafinha's dancing feet inside the penalty area. The South Korean players completely stranded. Kim Sung-kyu, the save to keep it at 4-0. Ball over the top from the South Koreans, intended for Cho, but Thiago Silva just dealing with it so comfortably. Rafinha on the move again here, just inside Brazil's half. Is it back to Marquinhos this time? Danilo helps it on. It's back again from Casemiro. Quite as much pace to this second half now. Brazil seem content just to control proceedings. Played up towards Neymar, just tried the little flick into Richarlison, didn't work that time. Most of what he has tried in this game has come off, you have to say. Seen little moments of brilliance from Neymar and a very calmly taken penalty. Brazil. Militao stepping in. Vinicius Junior now driving forward. Neymar ahead of him. Takes it out to the left-hand side. Cuts back in. Finds Neymar, bit of space opening up for him. Goes down under the challenge. It'll be a free kick in a decent position. 25 yards or so from goal. Definitely within shooting distance. Fouled by one of the substitutes there, Son Jin-ho. There may well be a test on the way here for Kim Sung-gyu. South Korea goal just a little to the left of the penalty area from a Brazilian perspective. Casemiro standing over the ball. Rafinha there as well. So too, of course, is Neymar, who will no doubt be eyeing this one up. Kind of position that you feel may suit the right footer, although Rafinha may fancy his chances of bending it round the wall and into the top corner with his left. It's just a little central, maybe. That maybe does provide the option for both right and left-footed players to have a go. But Neymar and Rafinha do step up. It is Rafinha. Does curl it over the wall, but wide of the target. Not troubling the goalkeeper. Will get a corner. Just took a little touch off the man on the outside of the wall. So Brazil can keep the pressure up here. 12 minutes into the second half. 4-0. And it could have been more. There have been chances in the second half as well. Brazil have their third corner of the game, which is taken short by Neymar to Vinicius Junior. Casemiro clips it into the penalty area, headed away on the edge of the box. South Korea looking to break away on the counter-attackers with Son on the halfway line. Brazil thought they'd won the ball back fairly there through Richarlison, but the free kick has gone the other way. Tottenham man fouled by his club teammate, according to the referee, Clement Turpin. South Korea relieved, no doubt, that they haven't conceded again in this second half. There's been opportunities for Brazil. As the cross comes in from the right-hand side, South Korea will get another chance to get bodies in the box. Good block by Eder Militao to prevent the cross from the substitute Hong Chul. Work the ball nicely again here, South Korea, but good defending once more, this time from Marquinhos. Clear the danger, Hwang In-beom. Continue to play the ball backwards here, South Korea. Crossfield ball hit over to the right-hand side. Kim Min-hwan gives it to Son. Nowhere really for the South Korean captain to go, trying to slip the ball through a yellow wall into the penalty area, and Brazil have come away with it. Vinicius Junior on the left-hand side to Neymar. Looks for the return pass, and Vinicius Junior just beaten to it by Son Jin-ho. Doesn't take Brazil long to regain possession again. It's played out to Rafinha. To Paquetá. Casemiro and then Marquinhos. Thiago Silva out to Militao. Helps it on to Rafinha. An exchange with Paquetá. Rafinha gives it to Thiago Silva, the captain, out to the left-hand side for Danilo. And now Neymar for the 1-2 on the edge of the penalty area with Vinicius Junior. South Korea deal with the threat this time. Hee-chan draws the foul from Richarlison. South Korea pick up the play again. Just over an hour gone now. They haven't added to the scoreline in this second half, Brazil. The pace of the game has dropped a little bit in the second period, perhaps understandably. Hwang Hee-chan now looking to get the cross in low from the left-hand side. Marquinhos taking no chances there. Very solid at the back, this Brazilian team. Thiago Silva and Marquinhos, lots of experience. Former Paris Saint-Germain teammates, of course. Thiago Silva, one of 3 players in the Brazilian squad with over 100 caps, as there is a brilliant back heel, as I said, Vinicius Jr. on his way. He gives it to Neymar, just left of the penalty area, driving in towards the edge of the box, and plays in a great pass for Rafinha, who's denied again by the goalkeeper. Shooting from a tight angle. And he'll be frustrated this evening at not having got his name on the score sheet yet. It's just a glorious move from start to finish for Brazil. Started on the edge of their own penalty area. Had Rafinha able to apply the finishing touch, it would have been an extraordinary team goal again from Brazil, who are preparing to make their first change. And it's one of those Centurions that I was talking about. He's about to make his entrance. Dani Alves coming on for Eder Militao. Again, I mentioned that Brazil squad, and the top 5 capped players in the history of the national team. 3 of them are in this squad, including Dani Alves coming on for cap number 126, Neymar 123, Thiago Silva 112. Those are the 3 Centurions in this squad. As the corner comes in to the near post, just misses Richarlison. Son for South Korea, dispossessed, and Richarlison has it inside the penalty area, taking his time, looking for options, and eventually the whistle does go. It's going to be a free kick to Brazil. To South Korea, I should say. It's a foul by Richarlison after he lost the ball inside the penalty area. Those 3 players on 100 caps. There are only 8 Brazilians in total who have reached that particular milestone. Cafu and Roberto Carlos lead the way, 142. Actually, Dani Alves has overtaken Roberto Carlos this evening by making it 126. So he's now the 2nd highest capped Brazilian of all time. And Neymar now just a couple behind Roberto Carlos. Brazil continue playing like this, then he may well have overtaken Roberto Carlos as well by the time this tournament is over. 3 more games for Brazil does feel possible, as they win a free kick for a foul on Thiago Silva just inside their own half. Skipped past Hwang Hee-chan there, the Chelsea defender. South Korea make another change. Park Seung-ho coming on for Hwang In-beom. Tough night for him tonight. It's been a difficult night all round for South Korea, as they just look to see this through now. You feel almost 20 minutes gone in the second half. They have not added to the goals in the second half yet. Brazil had some chances. Keeper's made a couple of good saves. As the ball goes over the top, I think there may be an offside here. Flag has stayed down for now as the ball is played back towards Richarlison. Flag does now go up. The referee happy for play to continue. That goal wouldn't have counted. Rafinha clearly in an offside position when he got that ball, when the ball was played rather. Hwang Hee-chan now coming forward on the right hand side for South Korea looks to find Cho. Goes to ground after a challenge, but a fair one according to Clement Turpin. Vinicius Jr. is dispossessed by the latest substitute, Paik Sung-ho. 4-0 lead for Brazil, scoring at their first 4 shots on target. Really could have been a lot more. Certainly feared for South Korea at 4-0 down. Would have been genuine concern about conceding an obscene number of goals in this game. They could still end up on the end of a really heavy defeat. So far they've managed to hold their own in this second half as Hwang Hee-chan delivers a cross, calmly dealt with again by the Brazilian captain Thiago Silva. Absolutely outstanding again this evening. Still such an important member of this squad. South Korea playing in the last 16 for only the 3rd time in their history. Made the round of 16, of course, in South Africa in 2010. And they went out at this stage, losing to Uruguay. Their best moment at the World Cup came when they were joint hosts in 2002 and they finished 4th. Brazil. That's the last time they won this tournament. 20 years now. They feel it's time for number 6. This cross comes in. Decent ball in as well. Big chance here for South Korea. Are they going to find the ball in the back of the net? Somehow it's kept out. Alisson with a brilliant first save. Brazil really struggled to clear their lines there. The Liverpool goalkeeper clearly frustrated. We very nearly had South Korea's first goal of the game. First effort from Hwang Hee-chan. And Son had 2 attempts, both of them blocked. And it was Alisson on hand to deny Hwang Hee-chan initially. And then brilliant defending from Marquinhos to twice block Son Heung-min before the ball eventually ended up behind for a goal kick. He's had a couple of big opportunities, Son Heung-min, in this second half. Alisson again, having been a spectator for such long periods in this game, coming up with the goods when required, and that's what makes this Brazilian side so great. They've always had brilliant attacking players. They don't necessarily always think about their great defenders and goalkeepers. They have 2 genuinely world-class goalkeepers to choose from. Experienced and apparently ageless Thiago Silva at the back alongside Marquinhos. Plenty of solid players in the midfield as well. Casemiro. They are simply just a great all-round team. A really good balance. Maybe the only concern that they have currently is the absence of the 2 recognised left-backs in the squad. Danilo playing there this evening, managing pretty comfortably, you'd have to say. He's an accomplished player. I imagine it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to have him continue in that role for the rest of this tournament if necessary. Brazil have not really been tested in this game, you'd have to say. They have been growing in confidence. They've certainly made their mark on the tournament tonight, really for the first time. 2 good solid wins to get qualification done early in the group stage. A much changed team, losing to Cameroon with that late winner. They were already through. Turning on the style at times this evening as South Korea come forward again. They have been much more threatening in the second half, where the cross here has come to nothing. Brazilian players warming up, and two getting ready to come on. One of them is Arsenal's Gabriel Martinelli. Will come on for just his 6th international appearance. We're also going to see Danilo depart as well as Vinicius Jr. and Bremer coming on with Martinelli. Centre-back, 25-year-old who plays for Juventus, previously at Torino, Atletico Mineiro. It's only his 3rd international cap. He's the most inexperienced player in the squad as far as international football goes. The 25-year-old defender coming on. 21-year-old Martinelli for his 6th international appearance, still looking for his 1st international goal. He might fancy his chances of grabbing one this evening. Vinicius Jr. excellent over the course of this game. He got the ball rolling, of course, with that early strike after just 7 minutes. First touch for Martinelli here on the left-hand side. Just holds the ball up and gives it straight to Neymar. Some exciting young talent in this Brazilian squad, as well as the obvious experience. 39-year-old Dani Alves and 38-year-old Thiago Silva. The ball is played back to Alisson, 30-year-old goalkeeper. Flicked up towards Richarlison on the halfway line, trying to turn away from the South Korean defender who he fouled. Kim Young-Gwon wins the free kick. South Korea prepared to make their 4th change of the game now. Substitutions coming thick and fast. Lee Jae-sung is off. Lee Kang-in, who started the last game against Portugal, comes on. South Korea can move again with Hwang. Played into Son now, just inside the penalty area. It back to Hwang Hee-chan, who wins a throw-in. Going South Korea, plenty of effort and endeavour in this second half. Come close to finding the back of the net, a little unlucky on a couple of occasions, and trying to work another opportunity here. Son getting the ball under control and then just overhitting his pass out towards Hwang on the right hand side. Hasn't really happened for him at this tournament. Son Heung-min. Takes the throw in for Brazil. Neymar wins another one a little further down the touchline on the left hand side. It's in front of the technical area where South Korea's Portuguese head coach is standing, Paulo Bento. Can at least be proud of the effort and endeavour his players have shown in the second half. Kept at it, tried to find a way back into the game, had a couple of chances. Might have just given them some hope. As unlikely as that seemed. now have a free kick on the right-hand side. Decent position. Son is going to leave it for Pike, the substitute, to take. Comes out to the edge of the penalty area, and what a strike that is! As South Korea get themselves on the score sheet, Pike Seung-ho with a long-range screamer. A moment to enjoy, a moment to celebrate. It's going to mean very little in the context of the game, but a truly outstanding strike from distance. Ball falling to him on the edge of the penalty area, around about 25 yards out. Took a lovely first touch and hit it on the bounce. Absolutely no chance for Alisson. It's such a sweet strike. May have been a slight deflection perhaps, but beautifully struck nonetheless. Pike Seung-ho scores just his third international goal. Sense of relief perhaps for South Korea that they've been able to find the back of the net. It's given the scoreline a slightly more respectable look. It's still a dominant win from Brazil, who frankly could have scored more. Have been much less ruthless and aggressive in the second half. Managed the game pretty well. They'll be frustrated to have conceded that goal, but just have to applaud the strike, really. From Pike Seung-ho. Nice moment for him to take away from the World Cup. Taken by Neymar. So Brazil might just find that they are spurred into action here in the final 12 minutes plus stoppage time. Goal might just wake them up a little. I don't think they'll worry too much about having conceded it. It's a brilliant strike. Alisson picks it up again. Plays it out to the right-hand side. Keeping the ball well here. Alves, though, gives it away. Wang Hee-chan now picking the ball up and looking to drive forward. Right out to the left-hand side. Korea just kept the ball much better in the second half. They actually have not been pressed as hard. They kept plugging away themselves the goal. A couple of other decent chances as well. If they had scored that goal early in the second half, we might have had a slightly different performance from Brazil. South Korea are in again here. It's another opportunity. Really good save by Alisson. That could so easily have been a second. It's really nicely worked. Hint of offside perhaps, as the ball was clipped over the top. It's a decent strike by Cho. Denied by Alisson. It's going to be his last act, probably, of this World Cup, as he is replaced. Final change of the game, as he comes off for Hwang Wee-jo. Who scored in that 5-1 defeat in a friendly. These two sides last met 6 months ago, and there is a couple of changes for Brazil now, one of which is Neymar going off. The other change is in goal. And it's Weverton who is coming on to replace Alisson. Because he hasn't played in this World Cup, and he's going to be given 10 minutes here. Alisson's just made another terrific save. to keep the scoreline at 4-1, although the offside was eventually given. A free kick rather than a corner. So Brazil deal with a potential threat there. They now have a throw in deep inside the South Korean half as they try and add something late on here. Oh, and the goalkeeper nearly getting himself into all sorts of trouble, just about managed to clear his lines with a couple of Brazilian players closing in. Just been a little bit casual in the last 15 or 20 minutes. Brazil, understandably so, they've been in control of this game for such a long period of time. Ball now back with Weverton, the substitute goalkeeper. Clears it long. He will no doubt want to make sure that he keeps a clean sheet for the 10 minutes or so that he's getting here. Likely to be his only contribution in this World Cup. South Korea almost get in behind again. It's good defending by Marquinhos to deal with a long ball that time. As it was played up towards Hwang Wee-jo, the substitute. South Korea back in possession. They know the game is up. They've known really since about half an hour into the game when Richarlison made it 3-0. They deserve credit for the way they've kept going in this second half. Haven't conceded again. Have made sure they've got themselves on the score sheet. Does look more respectable now. 4-1 win for Brazil. Probably what many people were expecting, but it really looked early in the game as though it could be anything. And here comes South Korea again. Dangerous ball across the edge of the 6-yard box. It's the goal scorer, Paik Seung-ho. They threaten there to start to make this a little bit uncomfortable for Brazil in the last few minutes. Already got his name on the score sheet in some style. That's Rodrigo, by the way, who came on for Neymar. He's now sitting on the bench. He's just had the strapping on his ankle cut. All smiles from the Brazilian number 10. He's got himself 80 minutes of action and a goal tonight. Probably exactly what he wanted. Exactly what Chiche, the manager, would have been hoping for as well. Brazil just knocking the ball around for fun at the moment. 6 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Could be a fair chunk of it given all the substitutions. I think South Korea will be pretty happy to hear the final whistle. It's not been the fairy tale they'd hoped for. Any remote hopes they might have had at the start of the game faded pretty quickly. Fabulous start from Brazil. Pretty comfortable in the second half as well. They have possession inside their own half at the moment. Thiago Silva and Marquinhos exchanging passes. Rodrigo just miscontrolling the ball as it came through. So now South Korea to gain possession. Ball back for the goalkeeper who's given it away, and Brazil could be in for number 5 here. Good last-ditch defending. Could have been a disaster there for Kim Sung-gyu. Gave the ball away. Brazil have taken the corner short. keeping possession well. I do feel if they wanted to, they could go up a couple of gears here and try and add to the scoreline. They've been pretty happy since half-time just to see this through. A couple of early chances. Could have been 5 or 6 quite easily, maybe more. Certainly in the last 20 minutes or so, they have eased off. They're frustrated at having conceded the goal, as good as it was. And Park Seung-ho, overall, this is a performance that will make a number of the teams take note. The other contenders have seen that first half display. I know that this Brazilian side mean business. Of the big guns have been impressive over the last couple of days. I mentioned before some of the star players from the various nations who have just picked up their game for the last 16. Messi scoring for Argentina, Mbappe with a couple for France. England's captain Harry Kane scoring yesterday against Senegal. Memphis Depay finding the net for the Netherlands. Here come South Korea again. Cross from the left-hand side into the penalty area. So looking for the free kick, nothing given, but they'll come away with the ball. It's Hee-chan who flung himself there at the ball, trying to get on the end of it. Casemiro is now fouled, and Brazil will have a free kick. 3 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Brazilians in no rush here. The ball is played back to substitute goalkeeper Weverton. It's rare that a country can afford the luxury of substituting their goalkeeper in a knockout game. And here come Brazil again. Rafinha crosses with his left foot, all headed away. Martinelli picks it up now on the left-hand side. For Casemiro. Bremer. To the left for Rafinha again. He's been desperate to get on the score sheet. Played the cross in, headed away. Paquetá with a touch. Brazil trying to find their way through again. Martinelli looking to get the cross in. And they're queuing up. It's an acrobatic volley from Dani Alves. Well defended in the end. It was Hong Chul who got himself in the way of a spectacular scissors kick from Dani Alves, the 39-year-old. He would love to get on the score sheet, I'm sure, at a World Cup. Connected pretty sweetly with the ball. It was on target. Or would have been had the defender not got himself in the way. It is a corner to Brazil. Into the final minute of the 90. Rafinha's in swinger and headed, but not enough on the header from Bremer. Just couldn't guide it goalwards. He did beat the goalkeeper to the header, or to the ball, I should say. Got his head to it, just glanced off him though. Behind for a goal kick. Ball with Kim Sung-gyu. It was a very good back pass to him. He was under a little bit of pressure there, but South Korea have cleared their lines up to the halfway line. Crossfield ball now might just bring an opportunity for Son Heung-min, who fires it over the top and high into the stands. It just kind of sums up South Korea's day. It's been tough out there. Almost catching Brazil out on the counter. Really, their big chances have come late in the second half when it's been all over, with the exception of that great opportunity for Son in the opening 90 seconds or so of the second half. We are into stoppage time now. 4 minutes of added time. Brazil are almost there. quarter-final with Croatia. Is their next step in their quest for a first World Cup in 20 years. Runners-up, of course, Croatia in 2018, but arguably less than convincing in this tournament so far. Haven't exactly cruised through the tournament. 4-1 win over Canada, their only win in 90 minutes so far. Goalless draw with Belgium after starting off with a goalless draw against Morocco. Needed penalties coming from behind against Japan to secure their place in the last 8. Only Joe here for South Korea, who is still plugging away, looking for a little opening in this Brazilian defence. Plenty of players forward, giving it away on the edge of the penalty area, and the counter-attack potentially on here for Brazil. It's Richarlison speeding down the left-hand side. 3 yellow shirts now joining him in the attacking third on the edge of the penalty area. Richarlison happy to hold on to the ball. Surrounded by 3 players in the end and winning the throw-in. Huge effort again from Richarlison. He always puts in so much. He won the penalty, scored the 3rd goal, which was maybe the goal of the night. He's their top scorer at this World Cup. His 20th goal for his country. His 41st appearance. That's a very good return. Now he has the ball again, holding it in the corner. 90 seconds of stoppage time to go. South Korea clear it. Only as far as Dani Alves. He wants to shoot from distance. This is the target. Absolutely desperate to get on the score sheet, it would seem. Understandably so. The 39-year-old is a bit of a surprise inclusion. Getting minutes, started the last game. So they've taken Roberto Carlos. The 39-year-old is a bit of a surprise inclusion. Getting minutes, started the last game. So they've taken Roberto Carlos as the second highest capped Brazilian player of all time. Only Cafu has more appearances for Brazil, 142. I'd imagine that at the very least Neymar will overtake him one day. He's already racked up 123. Still got a few years left in him, no doubt, as Brazil's main man. We're into the final few seconds of stoppage time. South Korea knew they were going to be up against it. They were just blown away in that first half. All slipped through. Martinelli, free. He's given the free kick. No, he hasn't. He's going to blow for full time. It's Brazil into the quarterfinals to face Croatia. And really, it was very, very comfortable. And all the damage was done very early on. Vinicius Jr. with the early goal in the first half, just 7 minutes on the clock, when he curled one in before Neymar added a second from the penalty spot after just 13 minutes. And within half an hour, it was 3-0. Richarlison scoring the goal of the night. Set up after some lovely combination play between the 2 centre-halves. Thiago Silva providing the assist in the end for Richarlison to score his 3rd goal of the tournament, and then Lucas Paquetá with a volley to make it 4 after just 36 minutes. There was a late consolation, a brilliant late consolation for Paik Seung-ho as South Korea bow out of the World Cup.